to the Healing Room. My name is Kemi Falarin and I am with the amazing
Lynn Scott.
And today we have Mr. T, who goes by many names, but he will introduce himself. But welcome to the Healing Room, Mr. T.
Welcome. What did I say? My name's Mr. T.
Yeah.
Thank you. People know me as Terance. My real name is Ignatius. That's my middle name. But then I thought it was my middle name, but it's actually my first name on official documents. And then I have an alter ego, Max, or Max the cab driver. Or Maxie.
That's the one that I know you as, Max the cab driver.
Or Max the taxi. Not Max the taxi, it's Max the cab driver. But that's my...
Do you have a cab?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Did you have a cab?
It was an alter ego. It's just a story that I run with.
And tell us a little bit about
like
that.
An artist that never made it. So I thought, let me just try and work on that. I was an artist that never made it and owed a lot of money to a loan shark, so I had to pay it back. So the only thing I'll do as a cab driver, I thought I can interview people in the back of my cab, so create a story of it. So that's what I did for a hot minute, which helped me. And then now the character now goes and hosts and I DJ, and now the character I don't need to wear the usually it's a wig and chain.
Anymore.
Yeah, I just be me now. So people just know me as that, which is something that I had to battle with for a hot minute in terms of I couldn't do nothing. Thought that I couldn't do nothing with not wearing him. It's weird.
What do you feel it done for you wearing that, the costumes?
It allowed me to be a bit more freer, get away with things more, speak my mind more, and be that inner child that I was probably yearning for a hot minute. But I realised I didn't need it after a while.
So did you feel that it really encouraged you to do the things that you've always wanted to do by wearing that hat, and then you could blame that character if things went wrong?
100%. 100%. I could get away with it. It ain't me. That was him. But it is me. You get what I'm saying? You know what is one? I remember one time I must have, because it's like the glasses, afro, and chain. Any part of that's missing, I get agitated. So it must be one time I was driving, gone to do a show, and I had the glasses bit wasn't there. And the confidence was gone. I said, I ain't going on stage without it. Like, it doesn't make sense. I had to go to the shop to go and buy glasses just to make it work. It was strange. But then I realised I don't really need it. I can do it. I can go on stage without it. I don't think I could do that.
What was it that made you realise that you didn't need it? Or what was the pinnacle moment?
Them ones where I forgot a piece. Okay. Like I forgot a piece of it. And then people as well, good people around you. That's why it's important to have good people around you. And they say, nah, bro, you're naturally, that's just you. Sometimes it's hard to hear it, but then eventually if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, you start to like, nah, you're right, I don't actually need that. I still do it here and there, but I've got the control of it. Before I didn't have control. I couldn't do it without. But now it's like, I wear the name without even wearing people say Max Cabs without even me wearing the stuff.
It's like that part of just accepting all the different sides to you and the different characters that kind of are there. You don't have to like pretend this part, though this is part of us, but no, it's just something I do for a show. It's become who you are as a person.
Strange. I still like doing it. Like Christmas time, all these things come up. They say, I need Santa Claus, and I'll just put it on there. But other than that, I wear it just the name alone.
You're not attached to it.
No.
Yeah, and talking about attachments as well, it's one of the things we asked you to do before you started about your attachment styles.
And what was it? It was
fearful avoidance. Have you ever heard of attachment styles?
No.
Okay, so attachment style are formed when we're children. And it's how we attach, but it plays out in our relationships that we have as adults.
Yeah.
So I always, when I'm working with clients, we always say our past presents itself in the present. So sometimes we have this saying that, I'm just this way, but we're not just that way. We are who we are because of the things we've experienced, heard, learned. Even you just mentioned, people kept on telling you, you can do it about your character until you believed in that. And sometimes we have to borrow the belief in that people have in us before we believe it in ourselves. But it can go the flip way. Someone could tell you something negatively, constantly, and then you believe that. So a guy called John Bowlby, he was the one who formed the attachment style. So there's 4 types of attachment style. Secure, which we all kind of want to work towards having. Some people have it already. anxious ambivalent. So that's when your caregiver was inconsistent. So you're never sure what you're going to get.
Okay.
And someone who's anxious ambivalent, which I am, is you're clingy. I am not clingy. But
I beg to differ.
But when I first read it and I saw clingy, I was like, I'm not clingy. But then as I started researching more into it, I saw how my clinginess kind of showed up. And it's like, you don't want people to leave, so you cling on to people, no matter of what cost, because you're unsure. So you're kind of like going back and forth. Like when someone gives you all the love and attention, you kind of run away from it because it's too much. And when they don't give it, you're running towards it.
Okay.
And someone who's anxious ambivalent has a trust in others, but they don't trust themselves.
Okay.
Someone who is fearful avoidant, so your parents could have been over emotional or lack of emotion. So you kind of avoid situations. You trust yourself more than you trust people out there, and you depend kind of more on yourself. Sometimes like to be isolated and withdrawn. So somebody who has a secure attachment style,
which is me.
Their message wouldn't be, oh, if somebody wanted to leave them. So someone like me, if you wanted to, I would attract people who are avoidant.
Okay.
Because you represent the pattern in my story of feeling like you're going to leave me.
So it becomes familiar.
So we stay in the patterns that we're used to. So when you go distance because you just need time, I think you're going to leave me.
Okay.
Where someone who's secure would be like, oh, they just need time. They understand it. They just need some time.
Just let go.
And they just let go. And then you've got disorganized, which they're unsure. They have both of your style, which is a fearful avoidant, and they have my style, which is ambivalent.
Wow,
so their body hasn't regulated. So it's like putting your foot on the brake and the gas at the same time. You're never going nowhere. Sometimes you want to be avoidant. Sometimes you want to be clingy. There's no consistency. Whereas both of our attachment styles, it's been embedded in us in a sense of we're used to it. Okay, this is what we do. And attachment styles are really important to know about because it helps you understand how you show up in a relationship, why you do the things that you do.
Okay.
We're not just who we are just because of who we are. It's the experiences that we've gone through, the messages that we're told. So it's a great thing if you haven't learned about attachment styles to look into that. You might want to add something.
And what I was going to say, along the way you change. You grow as you change.
Go between the.
As
so
you
I could do another one in another 5 years.
I used to be quite anxious as a in my younger days, which wasn't that far away.
Of course not.
I used
Young
to
ting.
whatever. I used to be quite anxious, and that would show up in my relationships as well. That fearful side of fearful, quite anxious. If someone's gonna go, I'm thinking, they're not gonna come back. A little bit of abandonment, and that was again as a result of my childhood. So I used to see how these things would show up in my relationships. But as I began to believe more in myself and fell more in love with self, I became more secure.
Okay.
So then I did the test again, and it showed up as secure. I was like, well,
come on now.
Come on.
I'm still ambivalent, but I'm working on it.
So just know that with work and with time, you want to put the work in, you will. Because I think we all strive for peace of mind. We all strive for that. We all strive for the time where we can just love our own company and really be comfortable in our own company.
No, 100%.
So we all strive for that. And that's, again, when we talk about, before we came on air, we were talking about mental health, and that's a big part of it.
So it's one thing that at this particular time, as we're speaking, is something that I'm getting to know more. So, not running away from it, like that's riding the emotions and understanding the different emotions that can come out at any time, and not being worrying about it too tough because it ain't man like, or it's not the way it is. You get it, but I'm actually now more like, you know what? If I need to just, most of the time I cry inside. I don't cry outside. I do cry inside though. Sometimes
who taught you that? Again, that was a taught. That was a taught behaviour.
I don't know where that came from. I'll be honest.
I'll tell you where. If I can.
Yeah, go.
If I can. But personally, one of the things that parents do or men do, man up. Boys don't cry. That creates so much mental health.
No, 100%.
If you're a man, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. So when you're conditioned in that way, as you're growing up, these are the things that you're going to portray. And then that's going to create, ill health in you.
What did you think about hearing your attachment style?
it's a crazy one, yeah, because I'm trying not to be of the world at the moment. I'm really dipping into the Bible and doing a lot of scripture reading. So what I've had to do is unlock everything that I've learned from birth. So because I've been born into Satan's playground, I've just been doing my own thing, thinking that who's this thing, this entity that's pushing me and doing and talking to me and telling me, no, don't do that. And for long, I've been ignoring it. Through growing up in church and then leaving it and then coming back, that's where this is where my passion is. Now my thing is like, I've got to unlearn everything that I've ever been learned of the world. And that's been difficult, especially from a male's perspective. Repositioning myself. So that's the fight at the moment. I'm like, this is the harder one. Like to play in Devil's Playground is easy. It's light work. You just couldn't. But now that I've gone on this side, I'm like, it's harder, but the blessings are better.
Yeah. It's like peeling the onion. Because it's like one thing you think, and then another thing and another thing.
Constant. It's constant. Yeah. And I'm talking like 40, how many years now of unlearning everything. The way I might behave in a circumstances or situation, I've got to be now properly like change the way I love that like enemy like and all these elements that I've had to learn. I'm like, wow.
See, it's weird when you say to me, I don't know, you might have a different point of view when like unlearn. There is an element of unlearning, but there's also an element of accepting from where you are and building on what you
100%.
Why you did the things you do. So when you get into a situation, actually, when you want to hate somebody because they've done something horrible, it might be like, but what do I benefit from hating you? I just keep you in my mind. So like it wasn't even Nelson Mandela, though it's quoted as that, because I said it the other day to someone, unforgiveness is like drinking poison. It's only hurting you when we don't let go of someone who's hurt us. So I guess when you grow in Christ and you start building that relationship and you start knowing who he's made you, I guess you see things differently. You see that actually you're hurt and that's why you're hurting me. It's not about me. It hurts when they're doing it, don't get me wrong, but it's actually you're going through stuff. You know, your makeup of the world caused you to be that type of person.
Yeah.
Where you don't trust people, where you think everybody's against you, and so then you react in that way. And I find sometimes a peace in when you kind of try to understand where somebody's coming from. You know, it's not personal to you. And it goes back to the book about the 4 agreements.
4 agreements. You just don't take things personally.
No, I try. I used to. I was a very family orientated person, but I've had to really over the time pull back and start looking from the outside in, like what's going on here? Like what is that? And it's still I thought that learning was done in school.
It's never about you, Terance.
Long life learning.
Yeah,
it's long. I'm like, I need a big qualification for this one. You get it? But I'm happy that I'm taking on board that, and I'm not beating at myself to say, no, I should have done this, that. I do get the situation. There was one situation I got put in the other day where it's like, I had to really humble with the situation. I had to be so humble. And that ain't like me, because I'm like, obviously, once you come out the situation, like, wow, if I did it back in the day, I would have lick off this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, no, this is the way you're supposed to do it.
It's never about you.
That's
other
the madness.
People do. It's never about you. It's about it. And once you learn that, because remember, hurt people. So once you learn that, and once you can acknowledge it, then you can change things, and that's what you're doing now. And your term is the devil's playground or Satan's playground, whatever term it is. But you're now learning that. Hold on a minute. I don't want to be of that. I don't. That core negative belief is not that anymore. This is what I'm choosing. You've made a choice, and that's what you're doing. And
that's the path. I realized just the other day how, because there's a lot going on the internet. There's so much rubbish. It's unreal. Social media is the most weirdest and strangest thing I've ever been in. Yeah, it's weird. But what's happened recently is that there's so many different stories that have been coming up. So the wife is coming, and you heard about blah blah blah, and you heard about da. I'm like, no, I haven't. You know, some things have gone viral. I've never heard. I don't even know. I'm oblivious to it. And that's because now I've literally said I'm changing the algorithms that I'm receiving now. Yes. I don't want to be taking in any of that. And it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it might feel that I'm not supporting the cause or that kind of thing. But if I don't understand it or whatever, let me go and do my own little research and find out about it beforehand. But I don't get caught up in the whole the worldly stuff now, it's so beautiful and strange. It's like I don't feel updated no more, but I'm updated. But more so, I'm updated about me and what I'm doing, and that's also a blessing and a curse, because now you feel like, am I being selfish? Am I letting other people down and blah blah blah? But I'm saying, nah, I've got to home in back more so myself now.
You got to let the feed be what you want to drink, not the feed be what the world wants to give you.
100%.
Because that's what social media, the words, if you look at even the words that are used, like my feed. You know, for me, I don't want anything to do with that. I do this because I want to help people.
No, 100.
And I think the more we do this, and the more people listen to us and hear, they'll identify with something that we're saying, and they'll realize, oh my goodness, that's how I feel. And they'll also know that there is a solution to it.
100%.
So I'm very, very mindful with what I watch and the reasons why I watch it, and also what's on my phone. And another thing, what I love about the phone is we're talking about social media. You can see how much time you spend on that.
Tells you straight.
You've been up by 20% this week. You're like,
when
what?
you look at that and what you could do with that time and being creative in your own world, instead of being on social media and going down this rabbit hole of Instagram, and then it gives you another thing that you might like and another thing. Yeah. It's all there to keep you limited and to stop you being the person that you were born to be. And God didn't make you to be this person that's, that you're trying to avoid.
100%.
So, I guess something that's beautiful, not beautiful, but a learning we can get from watching the internet. So, the other day you said the example of how you reacted before, it wasn't how you reacted in the last situation. But so let me kind of tie these two together. When we go through situations, yes, it's about the other person, but then it also highlights something that's in you, which is a trigger. And we become aware of it. What's that trigger? When they did what they did, what do we say? They think I'm a dickhead, or they think it's those messages that are underneath that. Yeah. The meaning we give to what somebody does to us is what controls how we respond or how we react. So even looking at Instagram, people go on there, that used to be, sometimes it is my first thing in the morning, like, I'm like, read the Bible first. But you go on there and actually it can make you feel happy. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel depressed. It can make you feel all these emotions.
I turn off all notifications now. I don't have no notifications. So people are like, how didn't you ever see that? I said, I don't do no notifications. Right. If I want to go on there, I will go on there and check it myself. And people's like, sometimes messages disappear because I didn't, look at it like, because it's 24 hours or something like that. But down to the wife, she's like, I've sent you things on Instagram in your inbox. I said, I don't go on there unless I need to go on there, because it's just you
get lost.
It's a madness on
there.
Have
you found that your mental health is far better now that you're not doing that?
I only clocked the other day based on not hearing certain things. In the store, I still feel I'm hearing things, but I'm not hearing as much as I normally. But it's only from reflection of the other day, literally yesterday, that what Diddy did what? I don't know. Diddy. I mean, I don't know. Nothing what's happened. Diddy, Will Smith, Jada. Yeah. Big up Jada. I love her, Jada. But it's like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, wow, is that a good or bad thing? But I'm like, nah, it's actually a good thing.
Do you not find it funny that we can spend hours talking, like my girl group chat, when I've got to my little break at work, about 65 messages about, I don't know. I go to the bottom, can I have the summary, please? But we can, I do that. I can't take too much information.
I can't.
People say, okay, laugh out loud. Yeah. Well, I say laugh out loud. But we're so consumed with other people's lives. And I've listened to a book or somewhere I've heard it where it says, sometimes we are consumed with other people's lives. So the drama shows we watch, Love and Hip Hop, Housewives of Atlanta, But it makes it take away from our lives. Like, our life ain't that bad. Look at all this stuff's going on there. And it keeps us away from looking at ourselves about our lives. Like, how many people are very self-aware? How many people can say, do you know what? I've been really snappy this week, and explore what made me snappy. Who am I? Even that question, like, what makes me, sad? What makes me happy? What gives me joy? We don't take a lot of time to just reflect on who we are and what causes us to be the way we are. I had to explore what clinginess looks like. I'm not clingy. I don't need it. But I had to explore it, and I saw, this is how it shows up in my life. But when I first said it, was like, no, because you don't want to be known as clingy.
No, 100%. You run away from them things. But I don't, like, even now I'm learning to. People say, you do so much things, you do 101 things, and you're too busy, and where. I think it was one time I was driving, never forget, Kennington, and we were having a discussion, and this big head here, where you running from? And it stuck with me
because it's a distraction
it
from
stuck for
facing
me.
yourself.
Yeah, but I've always looked at it as that I don't want to work for no one. I've always adamant about that. I enjoy helping people, and I enjoy building. I actually enjoy creating things, ideas, and making them come to reality. It's just a passion that I've always had. And when people look at it like, you're just doing the number one. I just like doing things. I just like being active. And long as it's holy, it's righteous, I don't see what the problem can be. And what I've always tried to do is bring people in to get things going. And it doesn't always work out to the best way, but I always will constantly keep pushing that narrative.
Where do you think that's coming from, though? Because that's coming from somewhere. What was it? Was it something when you were younger? Did people not give you a chance to do what you needed to do? You know, I'm just.
No, 100%. If I go back and look, I don't blame parent. I don't do the parent.
It's not a blame thing.
It's kind of a thing of. No, look at my children. They've got talents and abilities beyond anything. I do not want, and anybody around me, if I see they've got a talent and ability, how are you going to utilise this? How can I help you with it?
When you were younger, did someone stop you?
No. I wasn't allowed to express myself. Right. That they knew. My mum always knew I'd be on the 109 bus. If people know me from back in the day, 109 bus, and I'll just be dancing and entertaining. All I had to do is throw down the hat. I would have got money. Anywhere I was going, I just wanted to dance and entertain.
Did you want to give everybody else that opportunity as well that you had?
Yeah, I didn't have because my mum and dad knew we were talented, knew that I had that element, but they didn't know to enhance it or what to do things, what abilities to do.
So now it's like you want to give everybody else that chance.
Everybody should be given second chances. Forgive 70 times 70 times. Like, so there's always. I always see the gem in people. I just don't know why it is. I've always been like that. I said, no. You've got abilities beyond anything. And if I can help, I will help. And I've always just been that kind of person. So I want to always create an empire where people can have jobs, people can have something to feed off. So I've always been that kind of person to just let people feed off.
But something you said it stuck with you when I said, what are you
The running, yeah. It's, you know why it stuck? Because it made me start to think why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because at that time I was just doing. And I'm not thinking, like, why am I actually doing all this for? Like, everybody would say, I'll do it for legacy, to do it for you. So where. And I'm like, yeah. But it's what it is. I want to understand what this can do, the capabilities and what it can be done. How far can you push your limits? So when people say about fitness and health and that, I will do that. I will do the fasting, and I understand with the fasting that how amazing and beautiful it can be, but how dangerous it also is as well. Because when you're fasting, that's when the devil's like, hold on, what are you doing? Nah. And then that's when it starts to, and then I'm working in high performance then, because it's like I'm pushing through. So I've always said, how much can I push myself to make something happen, to be different, not to be the same.
We spend so much time in life trying to be this person, like you hear it, like get the bag and legacy, and for me sometimes they're just words, because legacy, you could be a bin cleaner and have legacy because you kept our streets clean. You took pride in that. It wasn't just a job. I think whatever job you do, it's your intentions behind why you're doing it, the difference you want to make. Like, I could probably go somewhere else and work with my qualifications and get double what I get paid, but I enjoy what I do because it's helping people. I don't always go around saying, I'm a CEO or I might sing this song, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, but I mean, and I don't go around saying that's not the first thing. Yes, I'm a CEO of a company. I might say, I'm a manager, because for me it's not about titles. It's about doing what you do because you love doing what you do. So like Lynn would say, like, a client called and I fitted them in, and I'll be like, Lynn, you need to rest. Have a break. You can't every time they come, but because we love what we do, you want to help people. And sometimes there's that, I guess, balance that needs to be struck into checking in. Why am I doing this?
100. I love everything since not being of the, how can I say the world, 9 to 5, the rat race. I love life differently. Everything I do now is through the seeds I've planted. Like I've planted. When the people keep phoning me now and say, "What's going on?" I said, "I'm overwhelmed." They're like, "What do you mean I'm overwhelmed with blessings?" I mean, literally, seeds that I planted from way back have just shut up. Now I'm like, and I'm trying to balance everything now because like, whoa, this is what I've done. Everything that I've manifested, like I put written down, has come to life. Literally, things that I even clocked. If I showed you my vision board, you'd be like,
"See, I love that."
Did you actually? Did it actually work?
Yeah.
It actually works.
Yeah.
So now I'm adamant about it. Even at the Christmas time, the kids are like, "Why we got vision boards? Why are we doing this and that?" 'Cause I want you, like, I want to see it. If you go into my house, everybody can see what I'm trying to do, so we can all be part of it. Yeah. So if you see my board, I've got a white board where it says, "This is what I want to do. I want to do that," and it gets people. It gets me going. Just to know that I'm actually exploring. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, we was in the Caribbean the other day, and I was down in one of the apartments and just clearing out, and I opened this trunk. It happens to be the trunk that my mother came from Jamaica with to England. I still have that trunk. And I opened it, and I had a vision board in there from 1997. And when I looked at it, every solitary thing on that board has been achieved. And that is the absolute beauty of setting intentions and doing vision boards. Absolutely amazing.
No, it's probably been one of my best.
Yeah.
Best. That's why I say when I'm running, when I'm looking at it now, when I'm looking at the door.
Yeah, we got someone at the door.
Got someone at the door. It's live and that. You get me? If it's a bailiffs, we believe it.
I told them not to come on a Saturday.
And then bailiffs ones there. But no. I've actually. So when you said the running thing, I've taken on board that. What am I doing this for? I want to glorify God. That's the main thing. Everything has to be, where does it all stem from? Where does it start from? And it's just bringing that right back. So that drive from Oval, I was cussing. I'm not going to lie. When she told me that, I was like, how dare you? Like, because we do that, innit? Like, what are you talking to like that? It rag or triggered, and it stayed with me today because I know I'm not running, but I'm dealing with what needs to be dealt with. And then people may look and say, "Wow, but you're doing the most," but I understand why I'm doing it. And some people may not understand. People that are close to me may not understand. They may say, "You're just doing the most all the time. You just look like you're just doing." I said, "No, you may look like I'm busy, but I'm not. You know." Like, but you're doing a podcast every week. I've already recorded them from how many years?
Yeah. They
and
don't
I just
get
put
it,
them out.
do
You
they?
get what I'm saying? I like to plan ahead, put things in perspective. I've learned now, plan ahead, be intention, like set your intention, and you're good. Yeah. And that's been what I've realised now at the moment is that since these seeds have been planted, Satan's like, I don't like how you're doing it, and things are getting a bit more. So I'm like, let me draw nearer to God, and that's all I can do.
But I think a key thing when you're about to break or something, a season is upon us, things happen that make us feel like it's trying to take it away, but it's showing you that you've got a plan for you. God's got a plan. That's why the enemy wouldn't come for somebody who's not doing anything. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
You're doing something, it's trying to stop you from where you need to get to and where you're going. So sometimes it's like seeing it as a blessing. Oh, I must be doing that. I must be on the right track because I'm getting. Yeah.
It's hard. Just through the clouds. It doesn't look like that all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Because sometimes you feel everybody's against you. Like, why am I doing? Like, I'm trying to do this, and then you feel like no, but people that are close to you even start questioning how you.
Exactly. And in those moments, you have to turn around and remember that as well. Exactly that. You know, you have made a plan and you have to raise your vibration, and you've got to go back to the why have I set this intention? What's on my dream board? What do I need to stop? And change the vibration to visualize this is where I'm going and this is what I'm going to do. And notice the most powerful word is I. This is what I am going to do.
That is it.
That's the most powerful word that there is the I.
100%.
Yeah. So we said, in terms of our men's mental health, and how do you think men kind of deal with, challenges that they face?
we're in a nice era at the moment where I've got some guys around me, yeah, that properly inspire and we have them difficult conversations. I've had a guy that recently just randomly, I'm gonna hear from you, rare, sent me a 1 minute, you know you're good, you've got this, brother, boom, boom, boom. At the time, I didn't know I needed that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I might send a random guy, you know, not random, but friends, people that I know that, are you all right there? How's everything? We don't do the whole thing of how you now. It's like, how's your head? How's your health?
Yeah, that's good.
What's
Check
good?
in.
What's going on
in.
there?
I sent you a beautiful song, something's got a break, you didn't even respond back.
Nah, you know what it is?
You're a woman.
No, don't get it twisted. Don't feel
You want
that
it from a man. You don't want it from a woman.
No, don't feel it falls on deaf ears. Don't ever think that when you send to me, don't feel, because that one I listen and I said this would be beautiful for a connection with me and my other half. So we send each other songs. So when you sent that song, it was like, right, that's so fitting to where we wanna be, as where my head is at and what I feel for her, etc. So I set that on. So she's like, that's beautiful, and that's the kind of, it didn't fall on deaf ears. Do you get what I'm saying? In that sense, so don't touch it.
So, in all of this, in wrapping up, how what message would you like to give across to help with mental health, especially in men?
You have to have the right people around you. I'm not gonna lie. It's very. I don't know how to find that. Help you find that.
Would you say learning to trust?
I think I've gone a bit deeper. I think I've gone a bit deeper in terms of the world we live in is a spiritual warfare at the moment. So it's either you're on one side or the next. And I've been honest. Like most of the time, I'll just have friends that are believers. So it makes it easier just to have that kind of conversation.
So surround yourself with the right kind of people.
Yeah. So I'm very strict, like, in terms of who I take advice of sometimes. Like, if you're not in a relationship, I'm not gonna, no disrespect to anybody that ain't in a relationship, but I'm not gonna go and talk to you and understand. No, I'm not. Sometimes I'm not gonna go. I find it difficult to do that because
but I understand.
You're not living
want to go to a mentor,
who's
someone who's experienced, but you've got to also remember that, like a boxer, his trainer is not necessarily.
That's where that's why certain people like Chris Eubank are fighting that, because you need someone that has been in that, goes through the church, that he specifically said these people are just trainers that don't understand how to go dig that last.
But in some things,
real fighter,
in some things, you can see better from outside.
100, I get it, 100%.
And they're able to
100%.
tune in to help you to be the best that you can. So I think it's just building up trust, and against why I said.
But I've been very specific
I've
been very specific of who I will go to and bring in my circle, because I'm trying to shrink it.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm trying to be more. I need to go. I'm a person for ideas.
Yeah.
I call it the floating balloon effect. Sometimes it floats away. I need someone to be able to tie it down. So I need someone I can phone.
Amen to that.
And help me.
Amen to that.
So I've got one guy that will do that.
About your business, the better.
So I tell one guy, he goes, yep, all right, boom, puts it in order.
Yeah.
Certain people I follow and watch, Hotak Kidman, I'll watch. That's inspirational. I need to see things that are going to help me move forward and build it. So I'm very specific in terms of, be very intentional of who you're trying to surround around you, so that when you do have a conversation, they don't afraid to even have a conversation with you. Like with Kemi, when she said, why are you running? That's the kind of things I need to be spoken about. And that was them kind of thing. So find someone that you can, people that you can actually have a conversation. It doesn't have to be family. It could be a pastor. It could be just someone who could be your mentor for say, mentor me, and they're like, oh, I'll do that. That kind of element. And networking is a big thing for me. It's massive, and the amount of people I've met on my journey is beautiful and amazing. And I utilize them to get a foot up. So network, find that person that you can relate to, and there's this little thing that I have, and I don't know why we have it, and I think not all of us have it, where it's like we go to say something, it don't want to come out. It's like fight that feeling where you can actually let it out. Let it out.
Vulnerable.
Sometimes it can come out like verbal diarrhea. I tell my other half, like I said, listen, what I'm about to say may go left or right, but at the end of it, I always begin with the end in mind. Know that we're going to be good at the end of this. So I might come out wrong. I'm like, and she's like, what? And then just back and forth, and it could be anything, but I just need to get it out so I can put the puzzle together.
And really, what you're saying is, look, babes, what I'm saying is my intentions are pure. The words I use might not be correct, but just understand where it's coming from, a pure place.
100%.
And I think that's really important.
100%. But no, just talk. Find someone that you can actually talk, and then once you do that, you can navigate. Winning our struggles makes us stronger, sharing our strategies makes us wiser. So I'm always about sharing.
Thank you.
Doing that.
The key to probably end is about building your tribe. And your tribe doesn't have to be someone you see physically. You can follow people online.
Literally.
And they could be like your mentor without you physically talking to them. But it's about building, having the people around you for the season that you're in and what you need. So like you said, network's really important because you can meet people who are like-minded, who are going or are already where you want to go to. And I think everybody has something that you can learn from. And that's what knowing about your circle. So I think it's Jim Ron or someone, like you can tell a person by the 5 people that they
The top 3 people that they speak to, yeah, you can definitely
tell you about you.
Yeah.
But it's about evaluating
Yeah.
your friendships. I have party friends. I have holiday friends.
Yeah.
I have gossip friends.
The what's the
Like
gossip?
She never said that.
No, there's
They're sitting there like, where do I fit into all of this? Like, where am I?
No, but you have.
But have you ever gone through your phone, but like properly like looked and analysed like who's in? You're like, this emotional bank of people is just some of them you just think, wow.
You know who's a taker.
Wow.
We know a lot. We
Givers,
know a
who are
lot
the-
of people, but friend is a word that's used on many, but bestowed onto a few.
100%.
And that's what you've got to remember. You know, the kids are always like, "Mum, there's your friend. There's your friend." And I look at this. It's not my friend.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
somebody I know. Do you understand? But limit who you speak to, because you've got to remember that when your words come out, especially when it's something close to your heart, if it's gone to the wrong person, their thoughts can take your idea and put a negative spin on it. So be very mindful who you speak to and what you speak to them about. So my thing is, if I have 100 words per day, I'm going to be very careful how I use them. If any word after 100, I am charged £100, I'm going to be very mindful what I say. So be careful who you speak to. And I'm not supposed to be wrapping this up here. Terance is supposed to be wrapping this up here.
Yeah, pick up yourself 95 and 65 Buckwide. You don't know the MySpace. Healing Room. Like, share, subscribe, get involved. You don't know. Follow me. Follow all of that. Listen, see these females, absolutely amazing. I'm truly inspired. I've always watched what you lot are doing. I'm gonna be following in your footsteps soon in terms of the cancelling. I told you I'm gonna do that. I always got this room where the table. I told you about the table, innit? And then there's like this soft chair in the corner, and then there's a clock in the corner, and then there's this phone. I want a landline phone when they ring it, and then people come in, and then I speak to them. That's my retirement. When I retire, I want to do. That's
lovely. And do you know what? We need more male mentors out there. You know, so go ahead and do it.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
No,
I hope you start taking relationship advice from me, and I'm joking.
No, I will never do that. No, I will. I'm not gonna do that though.
I am joking.
But there's so many other elements you can help with, anyways. I don't need to. I don't need you to.
Thank you,
But
Terance.
relationships, nah. You come to me.
Guys, come to me.
I'll come to you. Yeah. Give me your phone.
Terance, thank
eligibles.
you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And as Terance said before, share, subscribe, and thank you.
Yeah. Comment as well. Put the comments in there. It
Please,
helps.
make some comments, please, and just remember, please share.
Thank you.
Just a few of my friends, my male friends, they were struggling as well, but they wouldn't admit it. They wouldn't talk about it.
What was the things you kind of saw?
I think the things that I kind of saw was like not being transparent with how they're feeling. So we're having a conversation. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. You know, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, but what's been going on? Not much. And I take into myself. I only talk about my problems when they're solved. When my problems are solved, that's when I talk about them. And then what will happen is later on down the line, I was going for a madness, bro. But I'm back. And then for me, it's just like, well, I was kind of struggling with the same thing. So if we spoke about that together, maybe we could have solved that.
That's right.
You get to my age now, and you're struggling, but you've always lived with the notion of don't tell nobody your business. Like, why would you all of a sudden feel like you're comfortable to do that? Do you know what I mean? So it's about when you've got through it, then you talk about it. But then what I was realizing that in the same breath as well, because at that time I was losing my faith because of some stuff that I was dealing with internally. I had to go full circle in order for me to understand the importance of talking within the storm. Because when you're talking within the storm, it's when you're able to get the nuggets and the knowledge that you need in order to get out of the storm. To be honest with you, I don't like disappointment from people. And it's something I need to work on, but I take disappointment very badly in terms of when it's people that I love and I hold on a pedestal. So what I would tend to do is, rather than me get the disappointment from them, if for example I ask for help and they may not provide it, it's like I'm protecting you from disappointing me, so I won't actually say anything. So I'd rather me just go through it internally, deal with it, and then once I've dealt with it, I can come to you and say, yeah, I was going through, but you know what, I'm good, blah 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 blah. And then I might even say, yeah, thank you for checking in. You may not have known that you was helping me, but you were. I say, stop expecting things from people, because you end up being disappointed, and understand that you got to meet people where you are. And if you may want to do more for other people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the capacity to do that.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?